Good afternoon and welcome to the Healing Journey. My name's Chanin. I'm a licensed massage therapist, a certified Reiki master teacher, a clinical herbalist, an aromatherapist, and a certified cryotherapist. And I'm here to talk about all things holistic wellness and alternative healing. And sometimes we'll even get into a little bit of Western and Eastern medicine, but for the most part, we're going to stick with holistic wellness. Today, I want to talk a little bit about something that I've seen trending all over Facebook and TikTok and Instagram and all over the place. And it's manual lymph drainage. And manual lymph drainage is an awesome modality of massage. I think I've said it before, but technically there's over 300 different modalities within the massage field. Manual lymph drainage is one. Another one is manual lymph massage. They're two different things. But I'm seeing a lot of miscommunication on platforms about what exactly a person is offering when they talk about manual lymph work. A lot of times I hear manual lymph drainage when really they're doing manual lymph massage. Or I'll hear manual lymph drainage and they're doing myofascial release, which is a totally different modality. It's not even relatively close to manual lymph drainage or manual lymph massage. It's a totally different modality, but they're picking up on buzzwords and calling it that. And it's not that any of these other versions of manual lymph are wrong. They're just not manual lymph drainage. So that's what I want to do today, is kind of clear up exactly what the term manual lymph drainage is and how it differs from manual lymph massage, or a lymphatic massage. You'll also hear it called that. And just kind of give an idea of how the manual lymph drainage session works. First thing I want to say is, if you notice I keep calling manual lymph drainage, I never call it manual lymph massage. That's a totally different kind of thing. Drainage, the manual lymph drainage is its own little compartment within the manual lymphatic modality. It is not like other massages. It is very specialized. It is very extremely light. It works with gentle rhythmic motions that just encourage the natural drainage of the lymphatic fluid through your body. One of the interesting things is that when we move the lymph through our bodies, we're actually pulling toxins from all over the place to move it through and drop it into the bloodstream so that it goes through the spleen and the liver and the kidneys to evacuate our bodies. It actually runs through the spleen once through the lymphatic system as well. But then again, when it goes through the blood circulatory system. So there's that. It is gentle, rhythmic movements. So if you've ever seen those reels and those stories and those things on TikTok and they're rubbing real hard and moving people, that's not manual lymph drainage. That's manual lymph massage or lymphatic massage. Lymphatic massage is more massage-like. It's more focused on the deeper lymphatic system. It uses firmer strokes. It has more kneading and more moving of the deep lymph and the deeper toxins. It also puts everything through the kidney, the liver, spleen, and evacuates the system. It's just not going to work as effectively in some ways as the more gentle manual lymph drainage. So there's lots of different types of lymphatic massage. You got the body contouring one. I see that one all over the place, where they make the belly flatter. They make the thighs more contoured. This is a lymphatic massage. It is not drainage. It's just moving, and it's not working in the same way. When you're doing the manual lymphatic drainage, we aren't moving muscle at all. The Vater technique is the most used version of lymphatic drainage, manual lymphatic drainage. It's called the Vater technique. That's Bodder. And it's very gentle. If we move skin, we're working too hard. If we're moving muscle, we're not doing the Vater technique. The lymphatic vessels that we're trying to get a hold of and trying to help move the lymph through are literally between the skin and the muscle. So if we're hitting and moving muscle, we're actually collapsing those vessels. So the lymph can't move as easily. Will it still move? Yes. Will it move easily? And will you see immediate results? Not necessarily. So if you really want to get strong detox or post-operative results, you do the Vater technique. It's very gentle. Most people say that it's very calming and soothing because it is one direction and you're just doing the same rhythmic things over and over and over again. Social media is not showcasing that at all, and that's manual lymphatic drainage. What all the social media is showcasing is lymphatic massage, which has its place and does a beautiful job with what it's supposed to do, but it's not lymphatic drainage. And the one with the fascia, like I said, that's myofascial release. I can talk about that another time. It's a whole different modality. It's one I absolutely love, and it does a lot of things. Yes, it can move lymphatic fluid a little bit, but that's not its main purpose. Any massage is going to move lymphatic fluid because you're moving things. But if you want healing and detox and things like that, you want the Vater techniques. If you want more contouring or body sculpting or removal of bloating and things like that, then definitely the lymphatic massage is the way to go. So let's talk a little bit about, because I've mentioned post-operative. So a lot of times lymphatic drainage is used post-operative sessions. So post-op, post-surgical, whether it is elective surgery or required surgery. Manual lymphatic drainage can actually help with the healing process. When we have an incision or a cut, the lymphatic system and everything shoves all these different macrophages and T cells and everything down to this area to keep it clean and keep it healing and to kill infections. And it overloads that area, which is what causes some of the swelling. The damage to the muscle from being cut and all that will also cause inflammation. But it's these overloaded cells that are dying off after they do their job that is contributing to this, to the swelling. When you do the Vater technique of manual lymph drainage, you're actually helping the body move those dead cells out, and you will see a decrease in swelling immediately. This works great right after surgery, right after any kind of, like I said, elective or required surgeries. It helps move the dead cells out. It promotes healing. It pushes the immune system to actually increase its functioning so that you heal faster and more easily. And this is why having the Vater technique or the manual lymph drainage after surgery is so important.
Sponsored by Dublin Roasters is the Frederick Coffee House, fueled by love and positivity. Visit Dublin Roasters at 1780 North Market Street or at DublinRoastersCoffee.com, where you can order online and have coffee shipped right to your door. You can sign up for a monthly membership as well, open for curbside and deliveries 7 days a week. Think you've seen it all? Danny Gurry keeps finding Frederick's hidden gems. Family spots, mom and pops, and can't miss bites. Good Morning Frederick. Make sure to watch live at 9 a.m. every weekday on Facebook and YouTube.
In terms of detoxing, it's a great way to get yourself more or less cleaned out It moves all the toxins through your body. After a detox session, you will definitely be going to the bathroom more. You'll probably be sweating more. We're going to tell you to drink extra water. You're probably going to feel kind of icky because it's moving things and it's overloading a little bit your kidneys, your liver, your spleen, while it's trying to get everything out. So you could feel like you have the flu. Some people do, some people don't. It's all in the individual and how much they have in their system. A normal full body detox session runs about 2 hours. I personally will not do a full body detox session until I've worked with the person in 30-minute increments to make sure they're not going to get too sick or to feel too sluggish or feel too bad afterward. After we do a couple sessions doing different, do the arms one time, do the legs one time, then, we'll do the 2 hour quarterly. Every couple months we'll do a 2 hour session to keep the toxins out of their body. But that's only half of it. Like I said, the main reason we do manual lymph drainage is most of our clients anyway, is for post-operative. So let's take a tummy tuck. That's one of the main surgeries that we see clients coming to us from. We will see this client 3 to 4 times a week for the first 2 or 3 weeks, depending on how they're healing. And in that time, we will work only on the abdominal area where they've had the surgery. If they've had Lipo 360, they're not going to get much work on the back, but they are definitely going to get some work on the sides, on their belly, to help promote healing, to get some of the swelling out, to make them more comfortable in their own skin. We have protocols in place. So like a lot of times they can't lay down, so we have special pillows and special things that we use to make sure they can sit up and have the sessions. We have special protocols in place for BBLs and for leg surgeries. It's just everything has its own protocol. But so, we'll see them 2 to 3 times a week. After a few weeks, we'll start seeing them twice a week. And then after like 2 more weeks, we'll see them once a week. And this usually goes on for about 6 to 8 weeks. We like to see clients as soon as 24 hours after surgery. Most people say, you can't do massage that soon. Absolutely, you cannot do massage that soon. This is not massage. This is a very gentle, very rhythmic movement of fluid. We are not touching muscle. We are not pulling. We are not using kneading of any kind. We are doing very gentle strokes. For instance, this is as hard as it would be. This is manual lymph drainage. This is not massage. This is what I'm saying. We see clients as soon as 24 hours after their surgeries, and it does help eliminate the swelling. Let me walk you through. We get the client on the table sitting up because they just had surgery, let's say a week ago. We open the lymph nodes around the area. So if it's a tummy tuck, we're going to do the lymph nodes around the hips and upper legs in the groin area. We're going to do up through the sternum at the base and all through here. We're going to hit the nodes that are in the hollow. We're probably going to do the clavicles because all of this is going to be interconnected. And we're going to do the axillary under each arm. We're going to open all the nodes there. The nodes actually look like clusters of grapes, for lack of a better visual. To me, they feel kind of like you would expect bobas from boba tea to feel, and especially when they're swollen. And we just do very gentle circles to make them remove that stagnant and stuck lymph and move it into here where it drops into the bloodstream. That's the first thing we do. After that, then we start working on the vessels and moving the lymph through the vessels from the nodes. Lymphatic vessels are different than the veins and the capillaries and the arteries within the circulatory system. The vessels of the lymphatic system are shaped like this. So The top will open and drain into the vessel ahead of it, and then the bottom opens and it fills back up. It goes one direction. It doesn't go back and forth like the bloodstream. Lymphatic fluid goes one direction, so all the strokes are one direction, and they're very gentle. Sometimes we use a little bit of circular motion to move them through if they get stuck. But again, that circular motion, if you look, I'm barely moving skin because that's all that's needed. The lymph vessels sit above the muscle and right below the skin. You don't need pressure to get the fluid to move. At our practice, at the end of a session, we usually follow with some calendula oil. We do not use any kind of oil or lotion during the actual session, but at the end, calendula oil, the calendula infused oil, actually helps with lymphatic movement. So it'll help keep the lymph moving and keep it from swelling again. And that's how we end our sessions. After we get swelling done, and about week 6 to 8, we start with scar tissue reduction as well. Little different, that's more myofascial release, but it's part of the whole treatment that we give for post-operative work. But that's manual lymph drainage. So it's not rough and it's not hard. It's actually created for post-operative sessions, for people that have just had surgery, to help promote healing and move some of that stuff out so they're not so swollen and they are feeling a lot more comfortable while they're in the healing process. So how do you know if you're getting what you need? Talk to several people. Don't just, pick up the phone and call them and say, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for post-operative, or I'm looking for detox, or I'm looking for manual lymph drainage, and say, but I don't know if that's what I need. Ask questions. You can ask a massage therapist lots of questions. And the ones that I know that are really good will take the time to talk to you about it and explain what they do, how they do it, why they do it, when they do it. They answer the who, what, when, where, why, how. And they aren't worried about hiding anything. They're very open about what they can do and what they can't do. Most of the people I know that do manual lymph drainage, if they're not comfortable working on a type of surgery, they refer out to somebody they know who will or who does work on that kind of post-surgical procedure. I know several that don't do detox manual lymph drainage, but they'll refer out to other manual lymph practitioners who do the Vater technique, who do detoxing sessions. So it's really important you talk to your therapist, your massage therapist, and tell them what you're looking for, what you need, if you've had surgery recently, and get a feel for them. If they're talking about rolling you around and moving things, it's like, and you're post-operative, that's not what you want. Ask them, especially post-operative, you want to ask for the Vater technique. Like I said, it's VODDER. Very gentle, very soothing, and perfect for post-operative. But most people in Frederick most massage therapists in Frederick that do manual lymph drainage or manual lymph massage will tell you what they can and cannot do. They're very open about it. But as long as you tell them what the goals of your session are, and you tell them, what you're looking for, you should be able to find a good massage therapist that will be able to help you. The other thing is, when you get to your session and you are not comfortable with what they are doing and they're not talking to you about it and you have questions, stop the session. You can stop the session and just go and be like, I'm not comfortable. This isn't what we discussed, whatever. So it's very important you keep control in the sense that you ask questions. Why are you doing this? Is this right? Should it feel this way? Because ultimately it's you and your body and your session, and they're supposed to be there helping you heal. So sometimes what they're saying may not be what you're expecting. and that's okay. But you got to talk, not get mad, they're not going to get mad. They're going to be like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't understand, or we didn't communicate well or something. But talk it through. And that's why I said talk to them beforehand. That way you won't have that kind of experience. But if you do, know that if you're not feeling that the session is the correct thing for you, you can say, this isn't right, I'm not comfortable. It is perfectly fine and acceptable and valid for you to stop a session midway through. You do not have to go through it. All right? Just want to say that. So, I know I've talked a lot, probably not as much as I think I did, but I talk a lot, and I might have jumped back and forth. But the main thing to remember is there's lots of types of lymphatic modalities within the manual lymphatic modality itself. Make sure you're getting what you need. If you need post-operative or a detox, you want more of the manual lymph drainage sessions. If you're looking for more bloating relief or sculpting or fast results for like the wedding that's next week that you just need to be a little snatched, you want the lymphatic massage. They're different. They're in the same modality, but they're a little different. The way they're done is different, and they both give results. But what you need depends on what you're looking for. So talk to different people, talk to different massage therapists. There's several of us out there that do this. We have 4 people at the Healing Storm that offer manual lymph drainage, and we all do it a little differently. We even have one person that does the deeper work. So we'd love to talk with you about it if you're interested. But if you're not in Frederick, call massage therapists in your area that offer it and check it out. Find one who you mesh with that does what you're looking for and understands your goals, and you will be on track for healing and for definitely feeling better. It definitely makes you get unsluggish, especially after sitting all winter. So it's a great thing to do in the spring. So manual lymph drainage is a powerful tool for healing, for detoxing, and just for overall wellness. I highly recommend it to be done 3 or 4 times a year just to keep everything flowing nicely. There are lots of different manual or lymphatic drainage and lymphatic massage techniques. Make sure you're using the right one. Never be afraid to ask questions. The right therapist will be happy to answer them and will set up goals and treatments that fit you and what you're looking for. So if you are in Frederick, Maryland and would like a consultation, please reach out. The number is 240-394-6046. Give us a call. We'll set up a time to talk with you on the phone if one of us isn't available right then. If you're not in Frederick, like I said, find somebody in your area that is available to talk with you and see if they're a good fit. So if this episode has given you any insight into this manual lymphatic massage and that manual lymphatic drainage trend that's happening right now, let others know. Let others know that there are differences. And in the meantime, like, share, and subscribe. It helps us get the message out. Helps us get people to understand there are differences and that both are right. It's just what the final goals are and what you need it for. So if you got more questions about manual lymph drainage or any other topic, drop it in the comment. We'd love to answer them. And if not in the comments, then have another session like this. And until next time, take care of yourself, stay balanced, and we'll see you soon. Bye.